There are new revelations today about former U.S. President Donald Trump's efforts to deny Joe Biden's 2020 election win. The New York Times has obtained a memo written a month after the election. Now, in it, lawyer Kenneth Chesebro first lays out the strategy for appointing so-called fake electors. These Trump allies were intended to replace real electoral college electors. In the memo, Chesebro said he doubted the plot would work, but that it could plant doubts in the minds of the public. With more on this story, here is journalist Will Denslow in New York.
Well, this memo was referenced in the 4-count indictment that former President Donald Trump faced in Washington, D.C. last month. He, of course, pleaded not guilty to those charges. It's a memo that dates back to December 6th, 2020. Now, according to prosecutors, it was a fraudulent elector memo. Essentially, what it plans is to provide fake electors in 7 key electoral states while Donald Trump was contesting the 2020 election. We've heard from Tom Dupree, a former Deputy Assistant Attorney General, who provided more insight into the significance of this memo. Now, this memo by one of Donald Trump's lawyers states that it lays out a bold, controversial strategy that he says would likely be rejected by the US Supreme Court. It adds that it potentially could provide Donald Trump with more time while he was trying to fight the election results in the courts. Of course, this provides very insightful strategy into how this case will play out, of course, in the weeks ahead by the special counsel, Jack Smith. Donald Trump, of course, has taken to Truth Social, his social media site. He says that these indictments aren't legitimate. He has described it once again as political interference. Now, this memo could also provide a little bit of insight into the arguments Donald Trump's defense team might use. And he could use that argument that he was essentially just following the advice of his legal counsel and that he himself wasn't doing anything wrong. So that is potential worth noting going forward as this case continues to play out. An interesting new development has also been released. A court filing has been unsealed, which shows that prosecutors sought a warrant for Donald Trump's Twitter handle, Real Donald Trump, of course, the social media site now known as X. It doesn't reveal exactly what prosecutors were looking for, but it is believed to be data and records related. An interesting side note is that Twitter were informed at the time, this happened a few months ago, not to inform Donald Trump that this warrant had been issued. We also know that the social media site had been fined $350,000 for not complying with prosecutors in a timely manner.